Namaste everyone. So finally today I'm trying this a little uh, wide angle camera for us. I really pray that you are doing well. If not, I hope this video makes you feel a little better than before about the thing which we are going to discuss next. So the last time with the topic of discussion we had was about breath, and then of course we also discussed about om chanting. And today I am actually going to say something about one thing which is like very close to our well-being, which is food. So I will not be telling what to eat, what not to eat, because I personally feel that we all are wise enough to understand that what will be helpful for our well-being and what is not. And whatever is your choice of preference also, I think, about related to food is also, I think it's very subjective and personal. So I will not take that into the consideration in today's video. But what I'll talk about is how to approach your food, like how you can see your food and how we can eat, which is like little kind of interesting, because you will be thinking next that do you think that I don't know how to eat. That is not the point actually. The whole point is like what kind of approach we can now kind of redesign in our mind whenever we are approaching food. So that's the simple um, I think my intention for today's practice. So the simple thing which personally I do, because again I will come back to from where I'm coming from. I whatever I'm sharing here is basically the understanding of sastras, and whatever our sages has offered us through the different scriptures, our sastras, and also my own personal experience, whichever kind of I implemented and I felt which is helpful for me. And again I will say that this will be again subjective for us, but whatever I'm going to say next can be applied by you as well, despite having our subjective differences. So enjoying the natural surrounding also around me, I will bring your attention to first, whatever you are choosing to eat, whatever it can be. Example, if you're out, so you might be eating something, maybe for example sandwich, or at home maybe it's chawal dal or anything, sabji, which you generally prefer in your, according to whichever country you are in or region you are in, maybe soup or coffee in the morning, whatever that is. I'm not going to discuss more about the particularities of it, but what I am inviting you to maybe do here is taking some time looking at your food and just praying to it. So prayers can be chosen by you. What I generally do, I will chant with you right now so that you just get an idea, and you can chant any other mantra you know also. So generally just looking at the meal, whichever meal I have, I'm just imagining right now. I'll just join the hands together. Sometimes if you do not feel comfortable joining the hands, you can just bow towards your food, keeping your head down slightly, even if you are in public space or in your home space. It depends on you. I personally prefer doing both. So it will be simply like सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। नारायण नारायण नारायण। And when I am giving this intention to my food, I'm basically kind of having an interaction that this particular element is going to nurture and nourish my well-being. And that is the first point. The second point is when I'm eating, exactly chewing the food, in my mind I again do one chanting. Sometimes it's Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or sometimes it can be anything. For example, for me, I sometimes say Narayan as well, or Ram. You can choose Allah or God or anything which you associate with, like repeating it constantly in your mind mentally when you're chewing, and whatever you like kind of like choosing for yourself, um, just make sure that something you are like kind of personal with, like not something which you are not associated with. Like for example, whatever I shared right now, the mantra, that what I chant in my mind mentally when I eat, that's all due to my own personal experiences, and I feel attached to it in a way that I feel that it is like communicating back to me as well. The mantra, the chanting is communicating back to me in some sense, because I can feel in my body within in some sense. At the same time, there might be times where you will, maybe chanting for some time in your mind mentally while you're eating, and sometimes it may not be there. But that is not the point. Here we are like kind of inviting us to cultivate a habit which can support us to digest our food better. Basically, that's the whole point. And towards the end of your eating, you just sit there, just enjoy that feeling of satisfaction after having your own meal, and just sit there for at least couple of breaths. I will say for a minute or two. If you have time, then maybe 5 minutes. And when one more thing which I wanted to mention here. So the first thing is praying before like you are approaching the food, appreciating its fragrance, and if at all you like the colors and whatever you can appreciate about it, maybe the packaging if you're outside, and the cleanliness of your environment. And the second will be doing mindful eating, like chanting something in your mind, whichever intention you are building for yourself. And the third is just pausing after you have eaten. The one indicator that generally like one of my teachers has suggested is, after eating you should not feel your stomach. Like stomach can only be felt either if we are undereaten or if we have overeaten. If you have eaten like to your hunger, like satisfactorily, then you will not feel the presence of your stomach. So that was really like important for me to acknowledge. And once I started like approaching my food with these intention, I think I mentioned four till now. uh, so it really helped me, to be honest, to build that relationship with my food, which I can say that I'm still building. And from past 4 years I'm like more mindful towards these practices. From my 12th grade I'm trying to eat in a healthy way, but I will still say that it is like kind of a long exploration from my own end to see that how our relationship has built over the years now. But I will say these practices has been with me for at least some few years now, and I keep learning about it and just see that what associates with me and what doesn't, and just leave the rest. So whatever I have shared here so far, I will invite you again to see what suits you and try. And yeah, I really hope you mindful and happy eating. I hope whatever you eat nourishes you and allow you to grow in whichever direction you want. Let's end with Shanti Part. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thank you for being here.